Assalamualaikum Warahmatullahi Wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. Let me introduce myself. My name is Renata Artha Felisia. I'm from B class, English Education Department, University of Bengkulu 2021. In this video, I want to explain about reading comprehension skills. The first skill is scanning. What is scanning? Scanning attack is a reading technique where the reader look for specific information rather than trying to absorb all the information. For example, if you're reading a timetable, say you want specific information, usually and so look for something that is convenient for your journal. When you do this, you are scanning. The next, how to scan. State the specific information you are looking for. The second, try to anticipate how the answer will appear and what clues you might use to help you locate the answer. For example, if you were looking for a certain date, you would quickly read the paragraph looking only for number. The third, use heading and any other aids that will help you identify which section might contain the information you are looking for. The last, selectively read and skip through section of the passage. The second, previewing and predicting. What is previewing and predicting? Previewing and predicting are pre-reading activities that prepare readers to anticipate the content of the article. They give students a glimpse into the content of the article without reading the entire article. The objective of previewing and predicting activities is to get students to subconsciously prepare their mind toward the content of an article that they are about to read. Previewing. Teachers saw an article with a letter heading in bold print and picture depicting the article. Previewing activities start with teachers giving information that is related to the article using the article heading and picture as the focus point. Such information include the vocabulary and similar stories that the article depicts. Predicting. After reviewing activity, students predict the content of the article by activating concept and background knowledge based on their own life experience. Teacher test background information by asking students to give words and phrases that they can associate with the article and writing down test words and phrases on the board. The next is vocabulary knowledge for effective reading. What is vocabulary knowledge for effective reading? Vocabulary development is the understanding of specific words presented in text or oral language. Vocabulary is an important prerequisite for developing reading, comprehension, and oral and written expression. Students who do not have a strong vocabulary continue to struggle to gain meaning from text while reading and struggle to understand new concepts presented in oral discussion. Vocabulary is an essential skill for learning to read and write, and vocabulary strategies are necessary when students are reading to learn. The next is research often referred to two types of vocabulary. Receptive vocabulary. Listening vocabulary, the word we need to know to understand what we hear or listen to. Second, reading vocabulary, the word we need to know to understand what is presented to use in text. Second, productive or expressive vocabulary. Speaking vocabulary, the word we use in speaking. Writing vocabulary, the words we use when writing. The next is topic. What is topic? Topic, also called theme. The part of a sentence that announces the item about which the rest of the sentence communicates information, often signaled by initial position in the sentence or by a grammatical marker. Next, topic of paragraph. What is topic of paragraph? Topic of paragraph is a sentence that expresses the essential idea of a paragraph or a large section, usually appearing at the beginning. A sentence in a paragraph that expresses the main idea or point of the whole paragraph. Next, main ID. What is main ID? Main ID of a paragraph is the author's message about the topic. It is often expressed directly or it can be implied. And where are the main ID found? It's easy to identify a main ID that is directly expressed in the text. Main ID are often found first at the beginning of paragraph. The first sentence often explains the subject being discussed in the passage. Second, in the concluding sentence of a paragraph, the main ID can be expressed as a summation of the information in the paragraph as well as a link to the information in the next paragraph. And the last is skimming. What is skimming? See, skimming is one of the tools you can use to read more in less time. Skimming refers to looking only for the general or main idea and work best with non-fiction or factual materials. With skimming, your overall understanding is reduced because you don't read everything. You read only what is important to your purpose. Skimming takes place while reading and allows you to look for details in addition to the main idea. And how to skim? The first, know what you want. Before you start skimming, ask yourself what you want to get from the book or article under your nose. The second is think like author. Every article, book, and web page is written to make a point of something. If you can detect the author's strategies for making his point, you can spare the important from the unimportant material in the course of your reading. The next is read vertical as well as horizontally. When skimming, you move your eyes vertical as much as you move your eyes horizontally. In other words, you move your eyes down the page as much as you move them from side to side. The next, reread before you start skimming. Before you start skimming, examine an article before you write it. By pre-reading an article before you skim, you can pinpoint the part of the article that you require your individual attention and the part that you can skip. The next, try to detect the main idea in the introductory paragraph. The introductory paragraph usually expresses the main idea, argument, or goal of an article or chapter. Next is read the first sentence in each paragraph. The introductory sentence of each paragraph usually describes what follows in the paragraph. When you skim, read the first sentence in each paragraph. and then decide whether the rest of the paragraph deserves a read. If it doesn't, move on. The next, don't necessarily read complete sentences. When skimming, you don't even have to read complete sentence. Complete sentence. If the start of a sentence called no promise of the sentence, giving you information you want. Skip to the next sentence. The next is skip example and proof. Skip example and proof. Author often present example to prove a point, but if you believe the point doesn't need proving, you can skip the example. Okay, that's all my presentation about seven skill of reading. Thank you for attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.